Why did we divide this video into two parts? It could have been made in one. For your information, the authors of this post don't like to put efforts into things they're passionate about. So where were we? Erwin Smith. Cool guy, a real epic time leader whose actions border on suicidal most times. For all his stoicism and general calmness, Erwin really loved to put his soldiers through the worst and reduce their numbers significantly. Was he a sadist? Or was he doing it just for kicks? He was neither. Erwin Smith was a dreamer. At the core of it all, it was a man driven by the desire to fulfill his dream, to satisfy his curiosity. Inherited from his father, Erwin wanted to know the truth about humanity. To that end, he eventually became the commander of the Survey Corps and went on countless deadly missions. However brave he was for leading the charge, Erwin did get his hands dirty and did kill a lot of soldiers. This is exhibited in the perfect manner when Erwin comes back inside the walls. Erwin was the object of hate for parents whose kid he took to the battlefield. It took a toll on Erwin to such an extent that he starts questioning his own dreams and motivations. This introduces a layer of conflict within Erwin, a war with his own conscience. In my research for this video, I saw a Reddit post by user Cracked Peppercorns. One of the things he said sums this conflict up extremely well. The mountain of corpses is too big for his conscience to handle, but too small to achieve his dream. Throughout his life, Erwin had to juggle between two different goals. One, to be a good leader to his men, and second, to find out the truth about humanity, since being confined to the walls just didn't make sense to him nor his father. The moment Eren Yeager's reveal became apparent, it opened the doors to the truth that Erwin was searching for all his life. It unlocked within him a rage that was very well addressed by Levi. He asked why he was so agitated to keep moving towards the Titan-infested walls and sacrificing so many. Now let's increase the length of this video and look at another fictional parallel to this. There's a book called Crime and Punishment by Russian novelist Fyodor Dostoyevsky. Most of you have heard the name of the novel. In it, the main character, Rodion Raskolnikov, a good son and a hardworking man, kills a woman and then spends the entirety of the book in mental anguish over what he's done. The mental anguish of Raskolnikov, while carried on at length in Crime and Punishment and not in Attack on Titan, has a lot of parallels with Erwin's own anguish. The only difference being that Erwin killed too many to count, while Raskolnikov killed a single woman. But both had dreams, though of varying degrees. Raskolnikov dreamed of getting some money. His poverty became the catalyst through which he, a smart student, hard on his luck, decides to kill and rob the woman in question being a pawnbroker. Erwin dreamed of one day redeeming his father and to find out the truth about the Titans. To that end, he led his soldiers off to fight against a literally colossal enemy. When both Raskolnikov and Erwin came to introspect on what they had done, that's where the trouble began. All of his actions had bring up a duality of conscience within Erwin Smith. It goes to the point that he starts to doubt himself. Was he actually a good leader, or just a selfish man in a position of power, needlessly plunging young men to their death? This duality is shown in the best manner in Erwin's final charge. He motivates his men to fight and then leads them down a hellhole again. Only this time, things are near impossible since the Titans aren't just idiotic pieces of flesh anymore. One of them, the Beast Titan, is extremely smart as we later find out. During the intense charge, Erwin finally breaks, seeing everyone around him go to their deaths once again. The difference this time is that the survival instinct within Erwin isn't as strong as it was before. This brings me to his death and Levi's eventual decision to let him die instead of Armin. What should have been done? I personally think letting Erwin die was for the best. While yes, he could have been a great commander, but he just won't cut it as a colossal titan. There are many reasons for that. Erwin was a good field commander, and him just destroying everything in its wake as a colossal titan would have been counterproductive to his character arc. Unlike Armin, a foot soldier, he would have to give up the command of the Survey Corps and instead become a behemoth. Now, considering how well thought out his strategies were in the beginning of the series, it won't be a sight to see. He's an on-the-ground guy, simply put. Erwin's goal was to find the truth, and it's the reason why he went so hard to showcase his own selfishness and irrationality, which is indicative of the AOT storyline in general. Even cool, collected people like Levi become irrational at times, as we have seen. If he had survived, his dream would have been fulfilled, and he would have discovered the truth. Now, what he might do with the truth is a different story, since Erwin would be in a position of extreme power. With him becoming the colossal titan, Isayama would have to introduce a whole new character arc. It would be an overkill to the writing of Erwin, since not only does he have to deal with the deaths of his comrades, he now has to handle the burden of being the deadliest titan of all. Well, at least deadly considering the amount of destruction caused per capita. Speaking of character arcs, it's also important to note that even if he did survive, we would have already seen Erwin's breaking point. There is a limit to how much a character can endure in the series. This realism is exhibited by both Eren and Reiner, who both saw a massive character shift during the series because of the trauma they'd endured. Since he would be psychologically weakened by his moral conscience, there is no telling how Erwin might change. So it's because of all of that, I guess props should be given to Levi for making the decision to kill him. Erwin Smith, for his part, is one of the deepest characters in the Attack on Titan series. He's got layers upon layers of personality going on about him, and while he's flawed, who isn't? It is this realism of AOT that makes me fall in love with the series. Hope you like these two-parters on Erwin Smith. It's weird to divide such a small analysis into two, but a few minutes are enough for one particular video in my opinion. For all the literature fans who've watched this video, if I made any mistake in the part about crime and punishment, feel free to point out flaws. If you're looking for a page-turner that makes you hooked after a certain point, I would highly suggest you to pick up Fyodor Dostoyevsky's Crime and Punishment and his other book, The Brothers Karamazov. Lastly, if you haven't subscribed, then please do. It'll help the channel grow. Thank you so much for watching.